Hey, could you say a word or two about a convincing win and perhaps an injection of confidence that may come with that as you head into Howard?
Yeah, I mean, a really good win for us. You know, coming in, we felt like VMI had a good team. I mean, they've got good players. Danny's done a really nice job of recruiting. Now, they're a young team, kind of just like us, but they are young. They lost some guys to the portal just like we did, but felt like they were well coached. And, to come out, to win like that, I think it was a huge boost, especially offensively for our offensive guys, to know that, hey, we can score points, we can make people miss, we can get our backs in space, our wideouts in space, and make something happen. So it was a good day for us offensively, no question.
As you look forward to your scheduling with the ACC going to that 9-game league schedule, does that change Richmond's situation at all, do you think, as far as it goes to playing ACC people?
I don't know. I've kind of said for a while now that I thought those ACC, SEC schools were going to drop the FCS programs. When that happens or if it happens, I don't know. If it happens while we're still under contract, I mean, they got to pay us the buyout. And then we'll go try to find. There'll be probably a bunch of people looking for games at that point in time. But you got to find the 12th game. We want to play 12 moving forward.
And you're still in favor of an FBS opponent annually?
Correct.
Could you share your thoughts on Fitz and how he stood up, him and Stoklinski last year, in the face of some thinness on that defensive line, and how he's doing this year?
Oh, he's doing really well. He's an excellent leader. He goes out and plays and practices hard every day. It's important to him to be good. When we recruit him out of high school. He went to James Madison. Obviously, you guys know that. And when he went in the portal, we felt good about him, that he could come in and play and help us. He came into the season heavier, which has really helped him. No question. And you're absolutely right. Him and Stoklinski last year had to take the bulk of it. And at least now, we got 3-man rotation. And even Zion Bryson, who's in there as a fourth, but hasn't gotten a whole lot of snaps. So we feel good about it. And I think the world of Matei. I think he's a great leader and an excellent player for us.
How happy were you with your team's, especially a young team's focus, having to sit through that delay on Saturday and then coming back out and trying to pick up where they left off?
Yeah, people ask that question all the time, but VMI was sitting through the same thing. So there's no advantage or disadvantage either way. I mean, the other team's doing it. It gets tough because you go in there and they say 30 minutes, and then they'll come back and then they'll say, okay, it's 45 minutes. And you don't want to take the pads off. And then when it got to a point where they said this thing is not moving, we went in and told them they could take their shoulder pads off if they wanted. Some did, some didn't. They were kind of, active in there. It wasn't like everybody sitting in the chair, somber. A lot of times like pregame, I mean, you had to have them loose. Scott Brinks did a great job of having enough food for us and our guys. So, it was, I'm not sure about VMI's food situation, but I know both teams are normally about the same.
How much do you think you guys figured out offensively on Saturday, and how much more do you have to go?
We still got a ways to go. I mean, we were better. We were better up front, not probably where we need to be moving forward, and they just got to continue to get better. But we did enough. I've always known our backs were good, and I knew if we got those guys in space, something positive would happen. Our wideouts blocked really well on the perimeter. That really helped us out a bunch. And so it was fun to see us get backs and receivers with some green grass in front of them and given the opportunity to make some people miss or run by people or run past people. So, that was a good thing to see.
What kind of challenge is Howard this Saturday?
It's a big challenge. They got a good football team. Very, very athletic, experienced, old. I think 15 grad students on their team. I'm not even sure. I know they're older, especially up front. So they got a lot of grad students, a lot of seniors playing. So it's an older, experienced team, and they're really athletic. And you know, it'll be a challenge for us. I mean, we're gonna have to play good.
Can you look back at last year when you and Carson Stoklinski were basically all that there was inside, and compare that to what it is now inside defensively?
Well, yeah, I mean, with Carson leaving, you know, it definitely opened up a spot, but we have a lot of young guys in our room that are, you know, capable, and having them in the rotation this year, you know, takes a couple plays off me, allows me to play at a higher level. So at the end of the day, I've been enjoying it.
That was a convincing win Saturday, your first of the year. I wonder how the team comes off that.
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to keep the ball rolling at the end of the day. You know, it was kind of a little hard at first, couple first games with how those turned out, but you know, now the offense is rolling and defense has been playing well. You know, we're ready to get into next week and do it again.
You were on the debate team in high school. Share a subject that you debated.
Oh man. Honestly, I never actually did any debates where I went and competed, but it was mainly just going and being part of that team after school, you know. So I wouldn't say, I can't really remember exactly anything I debated on in particular, but it was a fun group to be a part of, for sure.
How hard was it to keep your focus in the middle of a 3-hour weather delay?
I mean, you know, it definitely was a little challenging because we didn't really know how long it was going to take or how long we'd be waiting in there. But I mean, once we got to like the hour and a half, 2-hour mark, we took our pads off, started relaxing, tried to just save our energy and things like that. But you know, there was a bunch of going on. We were, you know, playing games, trying to take our mind off football for a sec, just to calm our bodies down and things of that sort. But I feel like we handled it pretty well.
But I was going to say, you also, I mean, nobody, nobody checked out when you came back. You know, how quickly, as a collective group, did you guys get right back into the flow of what you had to do?
Yeah, honestly, it was whenever Coach Huseman came in the locker room and said we're going, I mean, we were just waiting for him to tell us that. So once we heard that, we were dialed in, we were ready to go. And I feel like us as a collective, we all went out there and performed like we didn't miss a beat.
What's your role now in that defensive tackle room amongst the defensive line? You're the veteran guy now
Yeah.
in that defensive front.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I've played a lot of football, and I feel like we have a lot of young guys in our room that are up and coming with a lot of talent. So I'm really just trying to teach them what I've learned through my experience and, you know, just set them on the right path so they can come and take over once I'm gone, you know.
What are the characteristics that make this defense year in and year out, yourself aside, because you've been one of the constants, that have made this defense like top 10 in the country literally every year that you've been here?
I would say it's a culture and a mentality that Coach Wood has instilled in us, you know, the blue-collar mentality. You know, we got linebackers that eat with their hands, you know, that's the kind of thing that we want in this defense, you know. So I feel like that's been what's carried us through the past few years in our dominance.
Hey, could you say a word or two about your shift from JMU here and what you liked about Richmond that drew you and why Madison wasn't the right fit?
Yeah, well, initially I came in, I got recruited through COVID, so it was a very weird time. So when I got to JMU, there was a lot of players there. We had like 120 guys on the team, and when I got to college, it was kind of a rude awakening, and I knew that it was going to take some time for me to work my way up in the depth chart, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to do that at JMU. So that's when I came here, I had an opportunity, and that's really what I wanted. I saw an opportunity here, and I jumped on it, and it was the best decision I ever made.
Was Richmond among the schools that was interested while you were at Tuscaloosa?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Richmond had offered me the year prior whenever I was in high school. So, yeah, I definitely had a connection with some of the coaches already, so it was an easy transition.
I don't remember the back and forth timeline, but you and Scott Hummel obviously both came from JMU. Was there a connection there that brought you both to Richmond?
Yeah, I mean, I would say so. I came a year before him, so I kind of got to feel it out before he did. So when he hit the portal, you know, I kind of jumped on that and was like, hey, man, come on. And, you know, it's been the best decision for him as well, too. So.
Convincing win, Jamal. What's the Spiders' mindset coming off that headed into Howard?
Yeah, just keep the main thing. Our word of the week last week was be relentless, and we're keeping that from here on out. I think the biggest thing is just stacking days now. We got to do it again and keep getting better.
What worked especially offensively, that hadn't been as effective?
I think the guys honing on just straining, and I think up front we won the line of scrimmage, and guys were finishing their blocks. The receivers blocked their butts off, and we were able to get out loose. And Isaiah and me, Drew, we all got to the perimeter, we were able to run. So just make plays.
How much of an emphasis was there on the two words "big plays" that this offense needed to start establishing big plays? How much of an impact was that?
Yeah, well, we knew we needed to start getting some chunk plays here and there. So, we can't just have 1,000 play drives down the field. We had to get some big plays, and running backs. I feel like we were a little late to the party, but we finally got rolling, and our lines we're looking good now, and we're gonna keep getting better and making more plays.
Was that a discussion point in the running back room? Kind of as late to the party thing? How did that go?
Yeah, well, we knew we had that at some point. We got to break one and score and make plays. So, finally, week 4. So it took a couple weeks and we got it done.
How
Look
much
to
of that
do it
is
again.
offensive line related? I mean, obviously there's been some tweaks and changes, and now it seems like they're getting their game knocks about.
Well, I think it goes hand in hand. So if they're doing good, we're going to do good, and we're just going to keep making plays.
How similar or dissimilar is this week's opponent to anybody that you've faced this year, especially defensively?
They're kind of like us. They're not as big, but they can run. They're a good defense. They got some athletic guys. So I think we got a challenge ahead of us for sure. So we just got to come prepared.
How much do you guys think you figured out on your end of the ball, and how much more do you have to go?
I think this offense has unlimited potential. I think we're just getting started, and we got to see a little sneak peek this past weekend, and expect more. So that's all I can say.
What's it like amongst the running backs? How much of it is chemistry? How much of it is competition amongst you guys? You all want to play.
It's both. It's really, I feel like me and Zeus, we've been here for a long time, and Drew's second year in, but he's kind of been with us too. So I think, we love each other, and we're going to push each other to be great. So, I love our room. I can't really say too much else.
Was there a time in Pittsburgh that you considered playing linebacker in college?
Never. I never have. But I do love linebacker, and I'm a physical player. I just like hitting people, so I enjoyed it. But I don't know. I just feel like I wasn't too big to play linebacker in college, but.